Meet the curious dwarf Cayman, the world's smallest living crocodilian, standing at just 5.2 feet and weighing only around 7 kilograms. This prehistoric tiny yet resilient creature thrives in the waters of northern and central South America, known for its remarkable ability to tolerate colder temperatures. It also has the unique distinction of being the only crocodilian species observed not to use the infamous death roll while eating. Despite its small stature, the dwarf cayman has carved out a niche in its environment, standing in stark contrast to its massive relatives. These alligators were just built different. On the opposite end of the scale is the fearsome saltwater crocodile, the largest extant reptile, stretching up to 23 feet long and tipping at the scales at a staggering 4,400 pounds. But even these modern giants pale in comparison to the titans that once roamed prehistoric waters. These alligators were just built different. Crocodilians may seem formidable, but they are shadows of the monstrous predators that lurked millions of years ago. Some may look at the saltwater crocodile and think, now that's huge, but at just 2 tons, it's lightweight compared to its prehistoric ancestors. It's important not to confuse modern crocodilians with their ancient relatives, the crocodiliforms. The crocodilian order, as we know it, began its rise in the Late Cretaceous, between 80 and 100 million years ago, perfectly adapted to a semi-aquatic lifestyle. These reptiles dominated rivers, lakes, and swamps, leveraging their powerful builds to become apex predator. But what truly set them apart was their potential for immense size and growth, so extreme that even the largest dinosaurs had reasons to fear these watery giants. Once upon a time, crocodilians weren't just survivors, they were rulers, towering over everything that dared cross their path, embodying the phrase, "there's always a bigger predator." Today, we marvel at the power and cunning crocodiles, alligators, and their relatives. But their story? Oh, their story goes back much further than we tend to think. These ancient predators are not just survivors, they are shapeshifters of evolution, with ancestors that roamed Earth long before the first human ever set foot on the land. At the heart of this legacy lies one of the greatest giants of them all, Deinosuchus, a predator that once prowled waters and stretched from Texas to New Jersey. Paleontologists have spent decades uncovering its secrets, piecing together fragments of a life lost in time. What If Discovered paints a picture of an animal that was more than just a prehistoric crocodile. It was a titan, but what made Deinosuchus and its ancestors so successful? How did these giants adapt, survive, and evolve over millions of years, while so many other prehistoric dinosaurs included fell into extinction? For over 200 million years, crocodilians have been the undisputed rulers of their domain. These famine hunters have witnessed the rise and fall of the dinosaurs, outlasted extinction events, and adapted to a world in constant flux. To understand how crocodilians became the formidable creatures we know today, we need to go back, way back, to the Late Cretaceous period. While dinosaurs were still in their infancy, crocodile ancestors were already mastering the art of survival. Early crocodiliforms like Sarcosuchus roamed semi-aquatic habitats, already showing many of the traits that would define their lineage for millennia. Powerful jaws, armored skin, and an unrivaled ability to adapt. These early forms were smaller, but just as deadly, thriving in an unforgiving world. The secret to their success? Adaptability. The end of the Cretaceous period that wiped out the dinosaurs, crocodilians evolved, enduring extreme changes in climate and landscape. But unlike their dinosaur cousins, they managed to survive. As humans, we admire their strength and resilience. From ancient mythologies to modern pop culture, crocodiles have been symbols of both danger and endurance, representing a primal power that remains unchanged through time. Throughout history, different cultures have revered and feared these creatures. The Egyptians worshipped Sobek, the crocodile god of strength and protection. Meanwhile, in Native American legends, the alligator is a figure of cunning and survival, representing the ability to preserve against the odds. But the fascination we have with these creatures goes beyond admiration. It's about respect for their ability to thrive in harsh conditions. In a way, they reflect our own struggles for survival, our reminder that even in the most dangerous environments, life finds a way to persist. And while today's crocodiles are impressive, they're nothing compared to their ancient cousins. Being most notorious among them, the tail of all, Crocodilians was Deinosuchus. This is where their legacy reaches its monstrous peak. Deinosuchus ruled an ancient North America, covered in wetlands and coastal plains. Its domain stretched for hundreds of miles, from modern-day Texas to New Jersey. These environments rich in prey were the perfect hunting grounds for a predator of its size. But as we'll see, Deinosuchus wasn't just a scavenger lurking in the shadows. There was a calculated hunter, one that dominated the prehistoric water days and left a legacy that still haunts us today. Deinosuchus, that terrible crocodile, its name alone sends a shiver down the spine. But what made this creature so fearsome, even by prehistoric standards? At over 35 feet in length and weighing as much as 10 tons, Deinosuchus was the largest crocodilian ever to roam the planet. Imagine a predator nearly as long as a school bus that would crush bone like twigs. Unlike its modern relatives, Deinosuchus was a fortress. Its body was covered in thick body armor plates called osteoderms, providing protection for potential rivals and prey. These armor plates weren't just for defense. They likely helped regulate its body temperature, much like modern crocodiles use their skin to absorb heat. While today's crocodiles are formidable in their own right, they pale in comparison to their prehistoric ancestor. Deinosuchus wasn't just bigger, it was built for power and endurance, with a tail capable of propelling its massive body through the water at lightning speed. Just like modern crocodilians, Deinosuchus was a master of ambush, with its eyes and nostrils positioned on top of its head. It could lurk beneath the nearly invisible, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And then there were its teeth. These cortical weapons were not designed to slice flesh like a T-Rex with serrated teeth. No, Deinosuchus' teeth were built for gripping and crushing, perfect for taking down large prey or smashing through bone. If you've ever seen a modern crocodile hunt, you'll know how terrifyingly quick they can be. Now imagine a predator twice that size, with jaws several times more powerful. It's hard to overstate the impact Deinosuchus would have on its ecosystem. But Deinosuchus didn't just rely on size and strength. Like modern crocs, it was patient, a calculated hunter, waiting silently in the shallows for hours, or even days, before launching an explosive attack. There was the ultimate ambush predator of its time. When we first uncovered the skull of Deinosuchus, we knew we were dealing with something extraordinary. Its sheer size alone told us this was an animal that could take on even the largest of dinosaurs. But what truly surprised us were the bone-crushing teeth, which suggested it wasn't just a passive scavenger. It actively hunted large prey. With its massive-sized, bone-crushing teeth and armored body, Deinosuchus was the force of nature. But as terrifying as the spider was, its most dangerous weapon lay in the power of its bite, one of the most powerful bites in the history of the animal kingdom. When it comes to bite force, Crocodilians are already champions of the animal kingdom, but Deinosuchus took this to a whole new level. Paleontologists have estimated that its bite force was over 20,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush through bone like it was nothing. To put that in perspective, the bite force of a modern saltwater crocodile, the strongest bite of any living animal, is around 3,700 pounds per square inch. Sarcosuchus had a bite force nearly 6 times more powerful. It wasn't just about grabbing its prey, it was about eating it. The sheer power of Deinosuchus's bite is something we're still trying to fully comprehend. Its jaws were designed to exert extreme pressure, likely allowing it to take down even the largest dinosaurs. We believe it used this force to snap the necks or crush the skulls of its prey in a single devastating strike. Deinosuchus didn't just hunt smaller prey. Fossil evidence suggests it targeted massive dinosaurs like hadrosaurs, animals that weighed several tons. Its hunting strategy, a lightning-fast ambush from the war, where its sheer size and power would be most effective. Like modern crocodilians, Deinosuchus may have used a technique known as the duck roll to dismember large prey. After clamping down with its powerful jaws, it would twist and roll, tearing its prey apart with brutal efficiency. This violent twisting motion, combined with its immense bite force, allowed Deinosuchus to take down animals far larger than itself. It was a creature finely tuned for one purpose: domination. We've built mechanical models to stimulate the bite of Deinosuchus, and the results are staggering. With a bite this powerful, Deinosuchus could have easily crushed the bones of its prey, making it one of the most efficient predators of its time. Deinosuchus didn't need speed or agility like some of the dinosaurs it lived alongside. Its powerful and patience were its greatest weapons. With an ambush strike and a bite that could end a battle in an instant, it ruled the waterways with unparalleled force. Deinosuchus, the terrible crocodile, a creature built for ambush designed for destruction and armed with one of the most powerful bites in history, there was a predator like no other, one that still haunts the swamps and rivers of our imagination. Deinosuchus was a giant in every sense of the word, but just how big was the word? Earth paleontologists wrestled with that question. Whether the massive crocodile, a marine reptile, or something even more terrifying, the first estimates were based on skulls, fragments, and we knew right away that we were dealing with something extraordinary. Over time, more fossils were uncovered, where vertebrae, armor, plates, teeth, and from beasts, we began to piece together the full size of Deinosuchus. Deinosuchus was estimated to grow between 30 and 35 feet long, making it the largest crocodile ever discovered. To put that in perspective, the largest crocodiles today, like saltwater crocodiles, rarely exceed 20 feet in length. Deinosuchus was nearly twice as long and far more massive. Standing next to Deinosuchus would be like standing next to a bus, an armored flesh-eating bus with a mouth full of teeth. Its body was built for power and bulk with stocky frame designed to carry its immense weight both in and out of water. But it's not just about length. Deinosuchus was an absolute tank, weighing in at an estimated 5 to 10 tons. It was a heavy weight, and its sheer mass would have made it nearly unstoppable in its environment. Compared to the largest predators of its time, Deinosuchus was in a league of its own. In terms of size, it was comparable to some of the latest theropods like T-Rex. And while it may not have been as long as certain marine reptiles like Mosasaurus, its weight and power were unrivaled in freshwater environments. there is still some debate about the exact size of Deinosuchus. Fragmentary fossils being rely heavily on scaling models and comparisons with living crocodilians. But what we do know is that even conservative, fast debates place it among the largest predators of its time. Even with modern technology and the best fossil evidence, the full size of Deinosuchus may never be known. What's clear, however, is that it was the apex predator of the swamps, a creature that inspired awe and fear in equal measure. While today's crocodilians still command respect, they are mere shadows of their prehistoric ancestor. Deinosuchus was built different, larger, stronger, and more dangerous than any predator the world has seen in its freshwater ecosystems. Hit that subscribe button now. But size wasn't the only factor that made Deinosuchus so fearsome. Its environment shaped it into a hunter perfectly adapted to its world, a world teeming with life, including the mighty cherubs. Deinosuchus lived in a world unlike anything we can imagine. North America, 80 billion years ago, was a land of vast rivers, sprawling deltas, and dense coastal wetlands. This was the perfect hunting ground for a predator like Deinosuchus. The Late Cretaceous period saw much of North America cover in what is now known as the Western Interior Seaway, a massive inland sea that stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean. Along the edges of this sea, Deinosuchus thrived in the river systems and swamps that dotted the landscapes. Much like today's crocodiles, Deinosuchus relied heavily on water. Its semi-aquatic lifestyle allowed it to dominate both land and water, and it was perfectly adapted to its swampy river-filled habitat. These environments were rich with prey, providing Deinosuchus with plenty of hunting opportunities. From the murky depths of river to stillness of coastal swamps, Deinosuchus was an ambush predator, using the water to its advantage. With just its eyes and nostrils above the surface, it could glide in wait for hours, completely undetected before launching its attack. But what did Deinosuchus eat? Fossil evidence including tick marks on dinosaur bones tells us it wasn't picky. Its diet likely included a wide range of animals, fish, turtles, and even large dinosaurs like hadrosaurs. We found multiple examples of dinosaur bones with bite marks consistent with Deinosuchus. This suggests it actually hunted or scavenged large dinosaurs, heading down into the water, much like modern crocodiles do with large mammals. Just like today's crocodilians, Deinosuchus likely used the water as its greatest weapon. Once its prey ventured too close to the water's edge, it would lunge with terrifying speed, driving it into the water. It would have no chance of escape. Its diet was as diverse as its habitat. Fish, turtles, and other aquatic creatures would have been easy prey for Deinosuchus. But fossil evidence suggests that it wasn't just limited to aquatic animals. Large land-dwelling dinosaurs that wandered too close to water's edge also became part of its menu. In the prehistoric world, no animal was safe. Deinosuchus had the perfect combination of cover, patience, and stealth, making it a deadly predator in both aquatic and terrestrial environments. Today's swamps and wetlands may seem calm, but they are echoes of a time when giants like Deinosuchus ruled these waters. Though the land has changed, the legacy of its prehistoric habitat lives on in the crocodiles and alligators that still patrol them. While Deinosuchus may be long gone, its presence still lingers in the creatures that inherited its world. These swamps remain a place of patience, stealth, and power, just as they were millions of years ago. Coexisting with T-Rex, two of the most fearsome predators in history, the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex and colossal Deinosuchus. But did these two apex predators ever cross paths in their ancient world? Deinosuchus lived during the Late Cretaceous period between 8 to 175,000 years ago. T-Rex appeared slightly later, around 68 million million years ago, so while their timelines don't publicly overlap, it's more possible that some of the Deinosuchus relatives and T-Rex ancestors may have shared the same habitats. Although direct evidence of T-Rex and Deinosuchus interactions hasn't been discovered, it's likely that these two top predators moved in similar ecosystems. Their large rivers, coastal plains, and wetlands, where prey was abundant. The question isn't whether they could have met, it's what might have happened if they did. Both Deinosuchus and T-Rex were apex predators, but they ruled different parts of their ecosystems. While T-Rex dominated the land, Deinosuchus ruled the water. The distribution of territory might have kept them from direct conflict, but what if their paths did cross? If Deinosuchus had the chance, it's possible it would have ambushed T-Rex, just as it did with other large dinosaurs, but a full-grown T-Rex wasn't easy prey. With its powerful legs and bone-crushing bite, the tyrant wizard Pain could have put up a formidable fight. Each of these predators had its strengths. T-Rex was built for power and speed on land, while little bite force that rivaled Deinosuchus, but Deinosuchus had the advantage of surprise. In the water, it could use its immense strength to pull even the largest animal into its domain, where the battle would be on its terms. A clash between bestial giants would have been a brutal fight. Brutal, a fight for survival, where only the strongest would come out on top. But in the end, the true victor might not have been decided by Silas' friend, but by the environment itself. It's possible that smaller theropods or juvenile T-Rex could have fallen victim to Deinosuchus, but a full-grown T-Rex? That's a different story. These animals likely respected each other's territories, avoiding direct confrontation whenever possible. Ultimately, Deinosuchus and T-Rex ruled different kingdoms within the same world, where one roamed the forests and plains, the other lurked in the rivers and swamps. And while we may never know for sure if they ever met, the idea of these two titans sharing the same world is enough to spark our imagination. Two legends of the Late Cretaceous, one on land, one in water, both built to dominate, yet each with its own domain. Perhaps it's better that these giants never crossed paths, or perhaps they did. While Deinosuchus is long extinct, its legacy lives on in the crocodilians we see today. Modern alligators and crocodiles may not be as massive as their ancient ancestors, but they carry the same instincts, of the same strategies, and the same ruthless efficiency that made Deinosuchus one of the most formidable predators in history. Deinosuchus was part of an ancient lineage that dates back over 200 million years. While it went extinct around 75 million years ago, its descendants continued to evolve, adapting to new environments and challenges. Today, we have 24 species of crocodilians, all of them bearing the traits of their prehistoric predecessors. From the American alligator to the Nile crocodile, today's crocodilians are survivors, descendants of a group that outlasted dinosaurs and thrived in nearly every corner of the world. And much like Deinosuchus, they are still perfectly adapted to their environments, silent, patient, and deadly. Though they may not reach the colossal size of Deinosuchus, today's crocodilian share its ambush tactics and its remarkable ability to survive in both land and water. These predators have outlived countless other species, and they're resilient. Why do we continue to be captivated by creatures like Deinosuchus? Perhaps it's the sheer size, the unimaginable power, or the thrill of discovering something long lost to time. The testament to their evolutionary success. When you look at modern crocodiles and alligators, we're seeing millions of years of evolution at work. Their bodies, their hunting strategies, even their behavior, all it ties back to ancient ancestors like Deinosuchus. Studying them gives us insight into how creatures like Deinosuchus might have lived and hunted, ambushed patience, and power. These are the hallmarks of a crocodilian survival, passed down through millennia. Today's crocodiles and alligators many things hard and Deinosuchus, but they are no less effective at what they do. In many ways, crocodilians are living fossils, reminders of a world long gone. They have outlived the dinosaurs, adapted countless changes in the Earth's climate, and continue to thrive in environments that would challenge most other animals. From the moment they hatch, crocodilians are survivors. Their instincts kick indicting them to the water, where they will begin the same cycle of life and hunting that has existed for millions of years. Its legacy that stretches back to the time of Deinosuchus. Deinosuchus may be gone, but its descendants remain, and as long as there are rivers, swamps, and patience in the hunt, the spirit of these ancient giants will continue to lurk beneath the water's surface. Deinosuchus may be long gone, but its legacy endures, not only in the crocodilians we see today, but in the lessons we can learn from its reign. From understanding the adaptability of life on Earth to studying the power of evolution, Deinosuchus offers a glimpse into a world that shaped the future of countless species. Today's crocodilians are distant relatives of Deinosuchus, survivors of a lineage that dates back over 200 million years. Their remarkable resilience and adaptability are a testament to the power of evolution, lessons we can apply to understanding the challenges that species faced in order. In our ever-changing world, Deinosuchus was perfectly adapted to its environment, much like the crocodilians we see today. By studying these ancient creatures, we can learn about the pressures and challenges they faced and how they overcame. Knowledge helps us predict how species might respond to current environmental changes. Deinosuchus' legacy isn't just about the past, it's about the future. By sharing its story, we can inspire new generations to explore the mysteries of life on Earth, to ask questions and seek answers about the natural world around us. Just as Deinosuchus ruled the rivers of ancient North America, today's alligators and crocodiles that continue to captivate our imaginations, and in their watchful eyes we see the echoes of an ancient giant, a creature built for survival in a world we can only glimpse through fossils and signs. From the murky waters of ancient rivers to swamps of today, the story of Deinosuchus is one of survival, strength, and adaptability. Its reign may have ended millions of years ago, but its spirit lives on in the crocodilians that continue to thrive, in the fossils that unlock its secrets, and in the curiosity that drives us to uncover the mysteries of the past. Time. But there's more to it than that. The story of Deinosuchus is a reminder of the complexity of life on Earth, a tale of evolution, adaptation, and survival. It's a window into a time when giants roamed the waters, and yet its lessons are as relevant today as ever. The world may change, but some stories like that of Deinosuchus will live on forever beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. Hit that subscribe button now, but if your prehistoric alligators were terrifying, wait until you see the Paleogene. The Earth was waking up from its darkest hour, but what crawled out of that chaos will haunt your dreams. Creature you've never imagined in a world reshaped by disaster. Trust me, click there to see why the Paleogene was the era where horror truly thrived. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and see you there.